Here we are then for the return of league racing content to the channel. It's been a brief hiatus, but we're back, and this is WOR, and we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, before we jump into it, I'm going to give you guys just a brief explanation as to what has been happening and what the plan is moving forward. So, as you guys know, there's been a lot of desync issues, and this week, of course, we had the new patch drop, which fixed the desync issues in theory. So, we're here for this race, and I can tell you it seemed to go fine. We didn't have any problems, so it does look like WOR is going to continue, and we're going to race every Sunday night, and then PSGL is going to be every Thursday night from now on. So league racing's back, and hopefully here to stay from now on in terms of the desync issues. But having said that, on screen right now you can see the championship standings, and with all the changes and all the things that have happened with F1 Esports, right now we are second in top split in the championship behind Jake Benham, who is a massive 60 points up the road. And unfortunately it looks a bit weird because of all the drivers that have left. You know, we're a long way away. I've only been in a couple of races, and of course we won in Canada, so yeah, we're second right now in the drivers championship. So somehow we're there, and we're going to try and defend it for the rest of the season. We've got a few new drivers coming in, people like Jarno Opmeer and Danny Moreno, just to name a few, and the grid is absolutely stacked. Here is the grid for this race, as you can see, and it's looking very, very tasty. So here we are then for qualifying, and at the end of my first soft tyre run. Hope you guys are excited for the rest of the season. If you are, leave a like and subscribe for more, because the league racing action, I do 2 videos a week on the channel, and I stream every race on my Twitch. So hopefully you guys enjoy as we end our first lap here, going through the bus stop, making sure we have a decent first banker on these. My previous lap was on mediums, which was invalid. We crossed the line set at 41.5, which isn't too bad.
Very nice one.
Happy with that.
Yeah.
So good. And in this race, I've got Philip Preschnader as my race engineer. Of course, he's a F1 Esports driver for Alfa Romeo, so he's going to give me information this race as we now get ready for our final qualifying lap. 10 seconds to go, so I had to be quite close to Jarno here to, make sure we cross the line in time to start the lap. Down to turn 1, we're going to brake just after the white line here at the 100-meter board. Down to third, possibly second gear. We lock up the right front a little bit and don't exactly have the best first corner, so not an ideal first sector. Not a great first corner.
Fine, just make up the time in second sector.
You can hear me say there, not an ideal first corner, but we're only half a tenth down. My PB in the first sector is a very, very low 1, like a 0.11. I did do a 0.0 on a different setup, so yeah, we're going to be chilling on a 0.201, which is not great, but we're now heading to Les Combes, trying to make up for some of that lost time. Nice and aggressive over those curbs, and we're now up on the Delta. Down to turn 8, Brussels. Easy to understeer and run off the track here, but we managed to keep the car nice and tight. Turn 9, we find a load of time here, just running nice and aggressive on the inside and exit curbs, just letting the car float and run through there on its own. And it worked out pretty well for us. We found a bit more time through Pouan, as we're now a full 10th up currently. Into the Fagnes chicane we go, 5th gear, take plenty of inside curb, and then the same through the left as well. Back on the gas into Stavlo, trying to get the power down, and we actually get a really good exit here.
You know what I'm on for?
Compared to our previous lap.
Yeah.
I'm 2 tenths up.
Okay, so you are currently on for top 5.
So you heard that. I'm just going for a quick update to see if I want to go for P11 or not. Currently on for P5, but that might change because of other drivers improving all the time. But we're going to push on. The lap's pretty decent. It all depends on this final chicane. Are we going to nail it on the brakes at about 75 meters, second gear, then quickly up to third, carrying good minimum speed. We cross the line. We improve by 2 tenths as Jarno goes fastest, and we go P9.
Yeah.
And we'll take that. I don't mind that too much. I think in hindsight, I probably would have preferred P11, but I was happy with the lap. My PB was a 0.311 in practice, so I wasn't too far away, only half a tenth. The grid is extremely close and competitive. You've got Jarno on pole, Jake Benham P2, Sam Bean, Chana Kinchi, Michael Romanidis, another F1 esports driver racing here today. John Evans as well, Ulas Azundarum, Thomas Harvey, myself, Ruben Pedreño, Lenny Pepinta, Luke Smith, Floris Villas, ex-F1 esports driver, and Sam Bride. So there is your top 14, all covered by 4 tenths of a second. So a very decent qualifying, one of our stronger ones actually, and you guys know I don't like Spa on this game. It's one of my least enjoyable circuits. I have issues with the curbs and just generally have confidence issues because of it. I've got no confidence to push the car and throw it around. So I'm happy with the lap, but I think I would have taken P11 in hindsight. Either way, we're going to start the race in soft, so let's jump into it and let's see what happens. Right, let's jump into it.
And
Here we are, end of the formation lap, getting ready to start the race. Everybody outside the top 10 is on medium, and you'll be hearing quite a bit of comms between myself and Prejnader, this race, my engineer. So here we go, 5 lights are on at Belgium, and we're underway, and it looks like a decent start actually, as we get the edge on both cars ahead. Into turn 1 though, just going to be careful as we take the middle of the track. We get dive bombed by one of the cars, not sure who that was, but it puts me off. And I'm not quite able to take the inside line, which is a bit of a shame, into turn 1. Could have gained something there, but that dive bomb put me off.
Yep. Just keep it now. Let's just survive the first lap and we can build from that.
As you can hear me say. And now on the Camel Straight, we've got Pedreño putting some pressure on Luke Smith as well as we head into Les Combes. I'm going to take the racing line though and not really panic too much. Important to try and keep the ERS charged around here, of course, as it's a power circuit, and ERS will make a big difference. Now, overall, I've got to say, during this first stint, I was actually pretty quick. The pace was strong, the setup was working well on the softs, and the car was actually pretty well balanced so far.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
You can hear me there, just getting a double check on the weather forecast, but so far so good. So we've got, I think, Jarno Opmeer leading right now as one of the cars ahead has a bit of a moment through the S's here, and everyone's kind of following in line. It's going to be a bit of a DRS train this race, so it's all about timing, precision and strategy, which is going to be the real key thing here. The strategy of this race could make or break it.
Jarno's stream is a little bit far back, so compared to Jake's and others.
Probably intentional. And you can just hear there Philip saying Jarno's stream is a bit behind. As you guys may know, when you're the engineer, you can obviously access other people's streams on Twitch and see what other people are doing and give information back to me, the driver. And in this case, Jarno's stream is a bit behind, but still, we're not really racing Jarno Opmeer today, if I'm absolutely honest. Either way, onto lap 2. It's been a decent first lap, and we've kind of got through that awkward phase, and we're now going to start to, get into the race a bit, as Thomas Harvey has a bit of a moment through Pouon running off the track. So we're going to use that as a bit of a sign that maybe he's struggling to keep pace, or maybe he's struggling on the tyres. You can see up ahead, Ulas has a moment as we cut the right-hander there, and everyone just wobbling at the minute through this middle part of the lap. So it seems like I do have a bit of pace to burn. It's just very hard to pass in the DRS train because the slipstream effect is so strong between all the cars that it just removes it all basically. So there is now zero slipstream effect from following other cars. You can see now lap 4, I'm faster though.
Yeah, the opportunity will rise. Don't worry. He's making mistakes at the moment. Yeah, he's all... Maybe now use the battery a little. Try and just force him onto aero.
You can see there we're trying to force Harvey into a mistake. I make a bit of a mess myself of the overtake attempt. And in hindsight, I really wish I'd made that count because I needed that overtake to work. But I wasn't quite able to. The inside curb is so deadly on that particular chicane. I've spun in multiple times, as you guys know, in this game.
He drains now, just stick behind him a bit.
But we're going to try and pass him anyways, have a look into the bus stop maybe.
Because I think if you make a move into bus stop, he'll just try and re-overtake you on Les Combes. I mean, before Les Combes, on the Camel Straight.
So we're going to go for it up the inside. Unfortunately, I can't lie, it's a terrible dive bomb. It was one of my worst ones. I got the braking all wrong, got out of position, and then that enabled Luke Smith to get the cut back and get involved. And just overall not a smooth, clean sequence. It's also going to drop us out of DRS range of the cars ahead, so a bit of a mess. That didn't work out. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, not ideal.
The dive didn't work out. It was a good idea, I just executed it terribly.
It's still fine. They're fighting up ahead, so maybe you can try and get them. I don't think you can get them both. Okay. They're just gonna try.
So yeah, you can see Luke Smith goes by. I tried to go on the inside, but the inside curb there is deadly. You don't want to touch it, so I don't really want to commit to a move on the inside. And now we've got Danny Moreno behind in the Mercedes on the medium tyre. So yeah, not ideal. The medium's starting to come into its own at this stage of the race, and the soft's just starting to go off a little bit. So yeah, at this point, I'm considering a change of strategy to get out of this.
Be careful. We think you're going to start losing some tyre grip
Yeah,
around
I'm back
now.
in the lead, 90% DRS.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm thinking undercut next lap.
yeah. I was about to say.
This lap's just
Maybe
a little bit
if
too
you
early.
like it. Yeah, if you want to undercut, do it next lap. Then.
So you can hear me say I'm considering the undercut. We've got the big train of cars ahead, you can see on the mini-map. Everyone's still kind of running together pretty much. But the undercut could be the play here to try and open up this race a bit.
Or maybe even this lap if you feel like doing it. But I'll leave that up to you. If
I'll
you
wait
think
one
the
more.
task and if you okay.
Yeah, I'm okay, I'll do one more.
So box next lap then.
Otherwise I have no tyres left on the next lap.
Yep. Yeah, copy.
So yeah, that's going to be the plan. We're going to box end of lap 6 and go for the undercut and see if we can make it work. For now, we're just going to try and stick with Danny here until when we pit pretty much, which is now.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's box.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push the safety car
Jake,
right now.
John,
Just be careful.
Jarno, they all have like 90%
Hitting this lap
ERS.
then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Basically same as you.
We're trying to charge up.
I should have it all back in the pits.
So I'm going to pit.
100.
I use the end lap to try and charge up my battery for an undercut. Thomas Harvey's going to pit though, which is really, really unfortunate for us again this race. I'm going to be stuck behind Harvey the whole way through, man.
I think we'll be racing in on the exit. If you use the ERS, Ruben has penalty by the way for a second.
Copy.
He's on the alternate strat, so maybe towards the end of the race.
So we're going to pit. And we're going to go to the mediums. We're going to try and race Thomas Harvey on the exit. It's unfortunate because I really wanted to undercut him and clear him. You know, I've had 2 chances to pass him and I've messed up both times. And it's kind of affected my race, so I really want to try and pass him. But nonetheless, back on the way, we've rejoined the circuit. Behind Harvey, no cars in between us.
You think you can get me?
I'll give it a
Journal.
shot. He's going to have no DRS, so we're going to give it a shot here and go for this move.
So I think you have the pace advantage over him. So if you use DRS and maybe train.
There's been an incident on track resulting in
Ah.
debris.
Aye.
Fortunately, marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety
just
car
unlucky.
right now.
Fucking hell. What even happened?
Oh dear. Now the timing of that is really, really poor. I was hoping to pass Harvey on the Kemmel straight and get the slingshot and undercut multiple cars. That backfired.
So you might be racing someone on pit exit.
And you can hear now, back on the way, we're going to be racing cars on the pit exit here, so Harvey may get DRS on this next straight.
I'm not exactly sure who.
I just can't get past this guy. It just always seems to work out for him. So annoying.
Yeah, maybe try and drain now.
And you can hear the frustration because now Harvey's got DRS on Ulas.
Also, Stas probably won't be up to speed just yet, and he doesn't seem to have DRS. And then we can think about getting Tom the next lap.
So we've got past Ulas, who's rejoined on fresh tyres, but cold tyres. And we're going to try and get Thomas Harvey. By the way, look up ahead, we've got John Evans up ahead, who is in the other Red Bull. So we're only 1.3 seconds behind him. And if we can get to the back of him, we're in this race. Right now, John's hanging on to DRS from the cars ahead. And Thomas Harvey's draining DRS to try and do the same thing and stay within a second of his teammate. Yellow flag though.
He's
For
just
Yellow.
outside. Yeah, that's Vallejo, by the looks of it. He's already on 6-second penalties anyway. 16 seconds.
So we gain a place as Ruben Vallejo is off track and has had issue at Puon. Now on to lap number 8, the start of lap 9. Thomas Harvey sets a purple lap. And we're following him right now. We've got more cars in the pit, so we are going to be racing cars on pit exit once more. We've still got Ulas behind us as we get ahead of Chanakinchi there. And now we're going to try and pass Thomas Harvey.
Alright, he seems to be out of the DRS, so try and use it.
Now we're going to pass Thomas. The only thing is we need to make sure we get within a second of John Evans because otherwise we could be in trouble.
It's also training as well, so we'll just be careful.
As we go through, in hindsight, I wish I'd drained my battery a bit
Right,
more.
nice.
You can see the delta to John is 1.3 seconds. We need to make sure we are within a second before DRS on the next lap. Or basically at the end of this one heading onto the pit straight, because if we're not, we're going to be giving DRS and dragging everyone else behind and losing time to the cars ahead, basically, which is not what you want.
Jarno's still staying out, so he's probably gonna rejoin roughly, maybe a little bit ahead of you.
Yep.
So if he pits, you should be able to use him as a slingshot.
Oh, that's a lot of understeer. We're lucky that. So yeah, the plan is to get within a second and basically reform the DRS train. The issue is Puon and these 2 corners here. I had such a messy sequence. The middle sector was so good. Fuck's sake. And we get a warning as well, but the middle sector was so messy, man. It was going so well.
Yeah, these curbs are really lovely.
And you can see here I'm going to drain some ERS to try and keep up, but unfortunately I'm just too far back and we're not within a second, and now it's going to go the other way.
Jarno is in. He might be able to slot just between you and John.
And you can hear Philip say, this might be our way out. Jarno's in the pits. If he rejoins ahead of us, if he kind of, slots in between me and John, that would basically connect the DRS train and bring us back into the race. And then I could probably save some ERS as well and, get into this race. Because right now we're P10 with cars yet to pit. There is Jarno right now leaving the pit exit. He was the race leader. He's gone long on the softs, and we're going to get ahead. Again, I wish I'd stayed behind in hindsight, but, you know.
If he's gonna try and overtake with the DRS,
Yeah,
let him have it. You can use him as a slingshot.
And Ulas Azulrum is going to follow through as well here. We can't do nothing about this. I'm just going to try and save some battery behind these two.
Yeah, just do that, that's a good idea. Just sit behind and save the battery. They will bring you into the DRS train.
And as you can hear say there from Philip, hopefully these two will bring us into the train. We'll see how it works out, but this is when, unfortunately, another thing happened this race, which, you know, I wasn't able to practice much for this one because of, you know, personal life at the minute. I'm a bit busy, but I did no race practice, and it showed because the medium tyre just wasn't working for me with the setup.
Stay in the DRS?
I'd like to think so, just. I think I'm lacking a bit of pace though right now. I didn't get it. I thought I had it, but oh well.
Unlucky. Oh, okay, just sit behind Camden. Save the DRS now.
So yeah, we dropped out of DRS range, which I didn't think we did, but apparently according to the game we did. And Akinci passed us with DRS.
They're going right into the train.
And I've just got no pace right now. We're really struggling. It feels like Sebastian Vettel in a 2020 Ferrari. I've just got no grip. The car is very, very inconsistent. Every single corner I'm getting a snap of oversteer or a bit of understeer. You know, something's happening, and I'm just really not able to keep the pace. You can see now I've dropped out of DRS range of the cars ahead. I just can't keep up right now as Flores pits.
Make sure to use it out of that first corner to get that detection point.
No, okay. How did I lose so much in that sequence though? And turn one was terrible, I understand, but... And unfortunately, again, we're out of DRS, which means naturally we're just going to lose time. It's just the nature of it, and I just can't keep up. Harvey's now behind us, and Luke Smith on softs is catching up.
Currently Romanidis with 3-second lap penalty, the net race leader.
Copy that. Yeah, I just need to not get a penalty. If I do get a penalty, I'm screwed. I'm 1 warning away, so... You can hear me say, we're on 2 warnings right now. If I get 1 more, we're in trouble. We've got Luke Smith now flying on the soft tyres, absolutely flying. He might be able to drag me back towards the cars ahead, but just generally I'm struggling. Why are you going for it now? You can hear me saying frustration. Why is Luke going for the move now? You can see here we get forced onto that inside curb again, which is very, very deadly. You don't hit it at the right angle, and Luke passes.
Yeah, down. Just use him now. Sit behind him.
We'll try and use him, but the reality is I don't have a lot of charge to really play with here. The pace just isn't working. I can keep up, you know, in the first and third sector, but in the middle sector I lose a full second. I drop out of DRS range. It's really hard for me to keep up. Luckily this time I was able to stay within a second of Luke Smith on the Kemmel Straight DRS zone. I kept up, gained a few places there from cars in the pits as we're now up to P8. And you see here, again here, I think I messed up turn 1 again, and I've dropped out of the 1 second window. Just can't get turn 1 done, man. And I'm just struggling for grip. Yep. I've got no answer. I'm in trouble. Yeah. But yeah, battery this time.
Unlucky. Yeah, but I mean, difficult to do a lot in this situation. The car seems off balance as well, so...
And it's a shame because qualifying, the car felt great with the setup, and also on the softs in the race, the car felt really good. I was really, really quick on the pace, but it just hasn't worked on the medium. I just don't have an answer. For some reason, I'm just simply lacking in every single department. You can see now we've got the soft runners behind us here.
Yeah, watch out for Morano, maybe he will try to go as well.
I'm aware, yeah. So Joe Hannon is going to pass us here. Of course, he got a podium last time out in PSGL Top Split in Portugal. And now here comes Danny Moreno. I'm going to cover the outside to kind of form a bit of a roadblock to stop Danny from passing straight away. But the reality was there was no point in me really fighting too hard because Danny had so much more pace on those softs. So we're just going to let him go anyway.
Also, if Flores passes you, no worries, he's on 9 seconds for the time penalties.
As Danny passes up the inside of turn 1. We've got Lewis Welch behind now, of course, my PSGL teammate who's in the Ferrari in this league. And we'll try and fight a little bit, you know, but ultimately, again, he's on softs, he's going to be a lot quicker. And there's not really much I can do in this particular situation. Just going to try and hang on to DRS, really, but we are starting to drop. We're currently P10, so we're still in the points. But all these guys on the Autostrat are coming back through, so... who knows where we're going to finish. Right now though, if Lewis does pass, we're going to be at the points, and that's going to be a bit painful for us in this race here today as we car's just drifting. What the fuck?
Yeah, that sucks.
Game over. I was hoping that I get a penalty. That was my only way back into the race.
Yeah, but I mean,
no one cool.
Car is completely out of balance.
And you can see there, game over. We get a penalty. That's going to be the nail in the coffin. I got 2 snaps oversteer when I got the penalty, and then I got another one when I got my 4th warning. And I'm just struggling. I just can't find anything. We're just snapping all the time through every corner, and that's giving me.
Mediums haven't worked out one bit.
Yeah, which is after all we did now, unfortunately.
And that just, it's giving me no confidence when I'm driving, which means I can't push. That's just the nature of it. When you're not feeling it, the car's not underneath you, you can't drive at max pace, and that really shows us now. Lewis Welch is going to try and pass here into the bus stop.
It's a shame on softs, it looked really good, the race.
As here comes Lewis Welch. I don't know what he's going to do here. I don't know if he's committing or not to an outside move. I think he is, but we're going to hold the inside here. And we're 1.6 off Joe, 1.8 as I'm trying to stay within. You can see the traction there Lewis gets on soft. It's absolutely insane as he moves ahead. But yeah, we're just going to slot in behind and let Lewis drag us along pretty much. But it hasn't worked so far, in terms of getting DRS behind another car. And I don't think it's going to work this time. But now Thomas Harvey, he's been chilling behind us. He smells an opportunity to pass, and now he's going to go for it. I'm going to have to use the little bit of battery I have left and the slipstream and DRS from Lewis to stay ahead, because he's putting the pressure on here big time on the Camel Straight.
I just remember there might be some crash up front. Maybe we can snatch some points from this too.
You can hear Philip say, let's just run with it. You never know, we've got a penalty, but there might be some stuff happening ahead. It's a big, massive DRS train, so there could be some action in the final laps, and there could be some contact and some crashes, so we may still get something out of this race. On to lap 19 though, now you can see Lewis has disappeared. I couldn't keep up, and now Thomas Harvey is a lot closer. Can't believe this Thomas guy's going to be ahead of me. So much faster the whole race, but it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, the setup just doesn't work with the mediums by the looks of it.
So yeah, Thomas unfortunately back ahead. The guy I'm trying to beat this race is somehow still ahead of me. No disrespect to him, but I just felt like I was a lot quicker, but I just wasn't able to make it work because of the strategy. He's out of battery, so I'll try and set him up for the last few laps and see if I can get him back.
Caution.
So we've got a yellow flag, and it's Jake Benham who's been caught up in a spin, and right here I go for a bit of an awkward move. I shouldn't have gone for that.
Green flag.
Oh, what? That was stupid from me.
But the timing of Jake's unghosting just kind of,
Jake unghosted at a bad time.
forced me into that. I didn't really want to do it, but he was ghosted at the time when I committed to the move, and then he unghosted, which made it really, really awkward for us. So shout out to Jake for getting out of the way in that situation. But we're now P11. If we get Thomas,
Yeah, there's lots of fighting now up ahead.
we could maybe get some points, but we've still got that penalty, which is really, really unfortunate in lap 21. Through turn 1 though, we've got contact up ahead. Lewis and Chanakinchi have had contact, and we're now P9, and suddenly
Yeah, told you.
Incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for
Surprised you can DNF out of turn 1 when the speed's pretty low.
Not sure, but still, I think Felipe might snatch that point from you because of that penalty.
yeah, you will. So suddenly now points could be back on the table, but realistically, because of the penalty, probably not, unless Jake, Thomas or Felipe get a penalty in the closing stages. It's going to be quite hard for us to still hold on. You can see Thomas has no battery left, his light is flashing constantly. I'm not doing much better myself, but we'll try and pass him nonetheless, as we're now pretty much, we've only a lap and a half to go. We'll try and send it as we put some pressure on here.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's unlucky. Yeah, but I don't think it will affect the outcome of the race.
The race was going so well.
And that's game over. A second penalty, 6 seconds. There were some cars ahead with 6 seconds, so we could have maybe gained a place, but that second penalty now pretty much puts it all to rest, and it's game over. So we're just going to try and finish the race now, but not a good day for us.
Just hate this track and don't get on with it.
Yeah. That could have been, I think, top 5 had the setup just worked, clicked with the medium. It's just that medium thing just hasn't worked out, unfortunately.
No. So we're going to let Jake go by here. I'm not going to fight because he hasn't got a penalty, so I'll let him just fight back and do what he's got to do. He is the championship leader. He is my rival, but technically I'm not really competing against him, and I'm not really in the same race because of the penalties anymore. So yeah, last lap of the race, and we're just going to bring this one home behind Thomas Harvey here today.
Fucking hell, come on. Just can't push the car.
This really looks like 2021 Haas on board.
Yeah.
The cars just refuses to do anything.
I've got no straight line speed. Thomas Harvey's running a very low drag setup.
As we make our way into the final chicane, end of the race. I tried to get Thomas there with 40% DRS on the back straight, but I had no straight line speed, and it's going to be P11 for us.
Oh, I tried.
Yeah, tough race, but yeah, good job out there.
So yeah, there's the final results. It wasn't to be. It hurts though, because remember before I mentioned about on the mediums when we done the pit stop, it was behind Thomas Harvey, and Thomas Harvey was behind John Evans, and John finished in P2. So it's painful, man. You know, Joe Hannon passed us on the alt strat, Moreno as well. Luke Smith started behind me. Jake Benham finished P6, even with that spin, just because of penalties. So I could have quite comfortably got a top 5 or top 3 finish, you know, even a podium, but I just feel like the medium pace wasn't there, and that ultimately was my Achilles heel, and it ruined my race. So we live and learn. It's been one of my worst races in terms of practice. I didn't practice much for this, I just didn't have the time. And it shows, basically. It shows when you haven't practiced and you're struggling in a certain area, but still, I don't do well at Spa anyway, so I'm not too annoyed with it. Either way, it's going to be P11, and that's it from us here today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the race. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more. I do daily F1 content and weekly league racing content, 2 videos a week, so go subscribe for that. As always, a big shout out goes to the channel members, and finally, as always, check out the 2 videos on screen in regards to more league racing content. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and it's goodbye from me.